Hello, welcome back. Now, we all love getting on a new bike and making a list of modifications that, well, in my case, you don't really need and, again, you're not really going to use. So this time I've been much more frugal with the 300L and I've only accessorized the bike to make it much more utilitarian, a little bit more personalized to me, and therefore a much better all-round riding experience. So to kick off my haul, this is the first thing I got my hands on. This is the Roya Moto. Now, as we go through the video, I will put on the screen where I got these from, websites, whatever, and also the prices. But in the description below the video, I'll also make a long list as well. So you don't need to sit there with your cup of tea and a pen and paper writing everything down. Just go into the description below the video. So this is the Roya Moto bike-specific toolkit. So as you can see, it is a tool roll, but you can also, depending on your luggage facility, you can just wrap it in half as well, like that, and store it on your motorbike if you're using panniers, for instance. However, I like this, and I'll show you why later in this video, because it fits lovely in my luggage system. As you can see, I've undone the straps here. The straps you have to buy extra. These also double up as straps to hold your brake lever for when you're repairing a puncture. Now let's have a little look inside. As I say, this is the Roya Moto kit. I'll try and get it all in frame there, like that. This has every tool and every accessory that you need for the 300L and the 300 Rally. They're a fairly new company, and believe me, when they get round to making them bike specific for my 1300 GSA and also my Street Triple 765, then I should be buying one of these for those bikes as well, because I just think this is amazing. They are top quality tools. They have everything in. You can strip your bike down to literally a heap of nuts and bolts using this toolkit. Every hex adapter, every screwdriver, every nut and bolt spanner is catered for on your bike with all of the tools and accessories. As well as that, they even have a bike jack in the event of a puncture in the field. There's also a tyre inflator. So well designed, everything on this. As you can see, if I pull that out of there, that's the inflator as well, and within there's a pressure indicator. I hope you can see that okay. There's a pressure indicator there, so you can tell the PSI of your tyres. I've used this kit, like I say, for fitting just about everything I'm going to show you within this video. They're real top quality tools. I mean, things are so well thought of. I'm just going to use this as an example. There's some magnets here, so when you're taking nuts and bolts off your bike in the field, you know, rather than them going missing in the grass, you can just put them on there and it sticks to the magnets. So well thought out. Hex adapters, everything is in there. There is nothing missed. I think it's a fantastic toolkit. It's not just a toolkit, it's actually an insurance policy. Within this kit, you also get the tyre spoons as well to change your, you get a couple of them to change your puncture. God forbid that doesn't happen, but at least you're well catered for in the eventuality that it does. There's two tyre spoons there, as you can see. And obviously, if you pair that with a little inner tube repair kit like that, then if you do get unlucky enough to get a puncture, then you're well sorted. Okay, let's move on. Next up, first thing I wanted to get, because let's face it, the first point of contact, or nearly the first point of contact when you drop your bike, and that is going to happen on a bike like this, are mirrors. And I don't particularly like the look of the stock mirrors as well, aesthetically. So I wanted to get a set of these Super Re Rally mirrors, and you can fold them in should you be going down a green lane with overhanging bushes and whatever. And of course, when you drop the bike, they'll just bend up, hopefully, rather than smashing the whole sort of mechanism. These are Amazon specials, as you can see on the screen. €35, I think these were. There's no vibration on them. I really like that, and you can tighten them up and manipulate them, move them to wherever you want on the bike. They're very clear as well. They're particularly wide, so when you are on the motorways, they have great visibility as well. So very happy with them. Next, we have the Rally Tower. This is made by a company called Adventure Spec. Now, when you order this off their website, you can select the windscreen to go on it. I opted for a clear screen, but you can get sort of color-coded screens as well. Be careful also when you are ordering, you need to order something called an amps bracket. That's like the accessory bracket to mount things like your screen on, and obviously that's why I got the Rally Tower. Well, actually, not just why I got it, because when you're riding the bike at motorway speeds, really does a great job of deflecting a lot of the wind around you. You're not sort of in the full force of the wind. So, and on top of that, I think it looks good as well. I also got this to mount a USB socket onto, but I didn't mount it on there in the end. I'll come on to that in a moment as well. But this is clearly why I wanted the Rally Tower to mount my screen on. You know that I'm a huge fan of these screens at this stage, and there's a couple of reasons I wanted this screen, and I'll just power it up and show you why. This is the C3 Pro. This is a 5-inch screen made by AOOCCI. I mean, they're so reasonable, they're so affordable. I think this was like €80. If you want the one with the tyre pressure monitoring, which is one of the reasons I bought this, I think it's another €30 on top. And of course, with my discount code, you can get 23%, I think it is, or 22% off that price when you use this code at checkout. So I have these on all my bikes now. I wouldn't be without them. You know, when they first came out, I thought, why on earth would anybody want them on a motorbike? It's just brilliant. So when I am green laning and off-roading, which is, you know, what I bought this bike to do, and I've done an awful lot of it in the month of ownership that I've had it. I've done 750 kilometers, I think, so far, which isn't bad. Bearing in mind I'm hardly ever here at the moment, but when I'm getting lost in forests and everything, which has happened a few times, using this screen and my maps apps has really got me out of trouble. But that's not the only reason, like I say, which is why I got this screen. I also got it for, now I'm not going to be able to find it now that I'm demonstrating it, trust me, it is on there. I also got it for the tyre pressure monitoring. I don't know where it is at the minute. Oh yeah, if you press the home button, here I am demonstrating technology and I can't even find out what I'm talking about. So it is in there. There you go. The tyre pressure monitoring is in there, and yeah, for another €30, I think it is, you can get the tyre pressure. So when you let that air, like I mentioned when I was demonstrating the Roya Moto 2 roll, when you want to let the air out of your tyres, you can pump them back up. That will also tell you at what stage your tyre pressure is at. So you have a sort of double fail-safe system. You have the inflator in the toolkit, and also if you go too low, this will tell you, because you can set your own warnings on the screen for your tyre pressures. And of course, God forbid you ever get a puncture, this will send an alarm to you as well. And then of course, you can also listen to your music, make your phone calls and do everything else you can with an AirPlay screen. I don't bother with any of that on this bike. It's purely to get me out of trouble with the satnav and to keep an eye on my tyre pressures. And I think it's an invaluable tool for that. I just can't believe how affordable they are. There you go. So I bought a USB accessory port here. It came with the switch. You don't really need the switch. I've mounted it on here just to sort of keep it out of the elements. I was going to mount it on the tower, like I said, because there are places for you to mount them underneath there. I couldn't really find a round one on eBay. I wanted something quick. So I opted for this one, and I've just mounted it on the handlebars. I've made a separate video, actually, if you go back through my library, because these are really easy to install. What a lot of people don't know is that underneath the headlight cover here, if you take this off, again, I won't tell you the whole thing because, like I say, I've made a separate video. There's an accessory port. And I bought the USB off eBay, and I just literally plugged it into the accessory port. Once you know it's there, once you find it, it's really easy. And then to power my... so I was going to power the screen using the USB socket from the USB port, but then I thought, well, why do that? Because I want the USB port to be able to power my phone and to be able to power my action cameras. when I'm out in the field. So rather than tying it up, even though it's a dual port USB adapter, rather than tying it up, I hardwired the screen, which you can do very easily as well. If you're not comfortable hardwiring anything, just plug it in to your dual port accessory port. I could have done that. The screen arrived before the accessory port. I'm very impatient, that's why I hardwired it, because I just wanted it on the bike and working. So that's the real reason. So since we're up here, I've got to tell you, I'm so fickle. I nearly didn't order this bike because of this. I really, and I've said this before on a video, I can't understand why Honda haven't addressed this problem. And because they haven't, I thought, well, if such a problem, which nearly every rider of these bikes talks about, still exists 2 generations on with this bike, and they still haven't fixed it, I mean, that says a lot about the company. Anyway, I got over that and I spent the tenner buying the brake hose adapter, again off Amazon, just to take the brake hose out and basically clear the screen so you can see all the information on that screen. You shouldn't have to do it, but for some reason we all still have to do that and spend a tenner on Amazon to get this, what I would say, must-have accessory for this bike. Really annoys me. And of course you can't have a dual sport bike without getting your Renthal bar protector. To be honest, I only got this, it was like €3 or something on Temu. I only got that to increase the order up to whatever it was, so I got free delivery. So I just threw that in the basket as well. But in the event of a jump and me going forward, it will perhaps save this porcelain here. Okay, next up, and another vital modification if you ask me. I think this was like the second thing I bought for the bike. It's the Barkbusters, of course, because the crappy little deflectors that the bike comes with as stock will only basically stop your hands getting grazed if you're going through a sort of overgrown area. But something like this, the Barkbusters, this is the Storm handguards on the Barkbusters, but they're solid. And as well as your mirrors hitting the ground first, this really is going to be the first point of contact if you go over either side. So you need something solid to protect your brake levers, because I dropped the bike a few times on my previous 300L and the first thing to go is these. So this is an investment. Not cheap, and I don't like spending that sort of money really. Again, it's on the screen there, but yeah, a bit of an investment that. Actually, since I'm up here as well, you can see these hand grips. These are absolutely brilliant. I saw another YouTuber recommending them. I can't remember who now. These are from Amazon. They're called AOOCCI. These have a couple of purposes, okay? So as well as being really, really soft rubber, I don't know if you can see that, I love getting any feedback from the road or the track that I'm riding on. And you can get that through here, but at the same time, because it's soft rubber, as well as having a great grip, it really minimises the vibration from tarmac when you're motorway riding, with it being a single cylinder bike and everything. It really dulls that vibration. So I absolutely love these. They're very sticky as well when you're wearing gloves. And they do fatten the grip somewhat. The stock grips which came with it just felt as though you were holding a sort of toy bicycle grip. Again, all subjective, but for me, these are solid. They feel great. Actually, back to the toolkit for a moment as well. Again, I used the toolkit to fit all of this. The guy who does the toolkit at Roya Moto, on his website, go and check that out. He's got very, very detailed explanations of how to fit Barkbusters to a 300L and a 300 Rally using that toolkit as well. It wasn't him who recommended these grips, however, but he's got brilliant explanation videos of how to, like I say, fit stuff like this. It wasn't the easiest thing to do because you do have to cut the grips. That leads me on to saying, when you do buy these grips, make sure you buy some super glue. Don't buy this specific handlebar glue grip, because all it is super glue, and they charge you 3 times the price for it. You don't need the glue on the throttle grip because that's sort of ribbed anyway, so the grip sticks to it lovely. But over on this one, you will need super glue. Bearing in mind, super glue sets within a minute. Don't do what I did. You know what I'm going to say. Yeah, of course, I let it set too much before I put the thing on, and the grip was only halfway on. Fortunately, I managed to get it off before the whole thing set and start again. So as soon as you put the glue on the handlebar, then just slide the grip on, and literally within 2 minutes, the whole thing sets and it's solid. I really, really love these grips. And as you can see, when they're paired with the Barkbusters, it does give you, as well as the protection for your hands and the bike, should it go over, it also gives you really good wind protection as well, again, at motorway speeds. The other thing, of course, is like any Barkbuster setup, you can replace whatever, I mean, like I said, this is the Storm setup. You can replace these with bigger, heavier duty ones, and even those gloves for the winter months as well. So treat yourself to a pair of them. Again, another great investment. Next, we have the AOOCCI skid pan underbelly protector. This is exactly what I had on my previous 300L, and it did take a good few knocks. I've heard about the aluminium ones obviously being much more heavy duty, but for the riding that I'm doing, you know, which is mainly on mud trails and green lanes, this, I'm hoping, will be more than enough. If I find myself progressing dramatically as a rider and I'm riding over rocks and all that sort of stuff, then I might go down the aluminium, I need to learn to say it first, route. But I have heard that a lot of those belly pans can cause vibration and make all sorts of weird and wonderful scratches to your frame, which I don't really want. So I just went for the AOOCCI plastic belly pan, and it has saved the day more than once already. So one thing I spent far too much time researching on the internet is the Radiator guard, and in the end I went for quite a cheapie. I know everybody's going to have their own opinions about this, and again, when the bike goes over, it's just another thing which you can damage fairly early on in your ownership of a 300. But I priced up a Radiator, so a whole new Radiator is like €180. So why would I, now this is the way my brain works, why would I then spend €200 on a Radiator guard? And I forget the name of them, but there's a company in America who really do top-notch Radiator guards. And what it does as well is stopping the crap going into the radiator. It protects the sidewall as well, so when your bike goes over, that hard frame will protect it. This is a cheapie, as you can see. It will hopefully stop stones and everything smashing up the front of the radiator, and it's got a little bit of side protection on. I'll probably drop the bike once and see how much damage that, or even a new radiator. If I do need a new radiator, I may well end up going down the more expensive route. But for the minute, I was aware that the bill was totting up with my mods, and I just thought, well, some protection is better than none. And the plastic radiator cover that the bike comes with might as well be made out of cardboard, to be honest. So in my eyes, I've done something to protect the radiator. But like I say, we'll see how that one goes. And here I got myself a pair of frame protectors. The AOOCCI ones are 3 times the price of this, and because they're not an integral part of the sort of structure, it's just protection. I just opted again for the cheap version. As you can see, they come around here. It's really well fitted. You need to cut nothing when you do get this. It protects the corner of there. But I think they look great in black. They do come in several different colours, and they're held on with rubber bands, just like the AOOCCI ones. But like I say, yeah, because they're not an integral part of the chassis strength, literally just protection from your boots and all the crud which is going to get thrown up onto the frame. I thought these were a really affordable buy, and definitely worth taking a risk for at this price. And here we have the luggage rack. I think any bike, if you're certainly going off for a day or even a weekend, let alone a little tour, you'll need a luggage rack. I got this one. To me, I just like the look of this better. Lots of cutouts. It's fairly lightweight as well. It fit the bike beautifully, and it's from here on the screen. I thought this was a very good price as well. Obviously, these are sort of universal because you can sort of fit most pieces of luggage to this. I wanted to fit a back bag like this one, as well as my side racks, which are all mounted onto this rack without sort of mounting them directly to the bike. and scratching all of your plastics. This certainly has done the job so far for me. I shall keep you informed as to how that goes. Incidentally, this bag I've had for about 5 years. I just found it lying about the place on a shelf. Not even sure where I got this bag from, but it clips into the harness underneath the luggage rack, and I keep stuff like my adventure camera gear in there, you know, because so far I haven't found a tank bag which looks good on this bike. So I'm now thinking, because I have this bag, because like I say, I found it on a shelf somewhere, I'll just keep the camera stuff in here because I can unclip it very easily, as you can see, like that either side, and take the bag into a cafe or a restaurant or wherever I am with all of the camera gear in. So it's all about the safety with that sort of stuff as well. Very happy with that. That leads me on to the side bags here. So the side bags are Rhino Walk, another one from Temu. Didn't want to spend too much money on these because I've got other bikes. I'm fortunate enough to have other bikes, so I'm not going to really be going away for weekends on this bike. Well, not at the moment anyway. What I will be doing is going away for days. So I just wanted something to put the tool bag kit, the tool roll into, which it goes into this one beautifully, and also waterproofs for myself and a bike cover. A waterproof bike cover to cover the bike. This bike is so nickable here in Ireland. You know, the insurance has gone through the roof since I owned this bike because they're highly sought after. Yeah, they're an eye-catching bike as well. So if you're parking up somewhere, especially in the city centre, it's really good airmanship, if you like, to carry a bike cover. And of course, with that, couple that with a lock or two as well, which all sit in these bags. Now, because they're waterproof, these bags, I have to say, I mean, the reason these bags are so affordable, they're only single skin. I don't know, maybe they'll only survive one fall when the bike goes over on its side. Again, I'll keep you informed on that. But for the moment, they're waterproof. It holds everything I want it to hold. I do have a bigger bag as well, which can sit on, which is an Oxford bag, which can sit on the moto rack. You know, yeah, options are endless, really, when you have a setup like this. And you know, this will cater for more than most weekends away on a bike like this. But rather than getting in and out of these bags for sort of quick and easy access, which you can't do because they're roll top, which is what makes them waterproof, that's why I paired it with this bag on the back, just to get in and out easily with my camera equipment. Okay, that's it so far. I think if I was going to buy anything else, I'm a bit addicted to this bike. I can't stop riding this bloody bike. So I think if I was going to get anything else, I may invest in a set of heated grips. But that would mean me having to lose these fantastic AOOCCI soft grips. And that's the reason I haven't gone down the heated grip route, because I love them grips so much. I may well just put on my electric gloves again for the winter months. I hope I've saved you a few quid within this video, although I've probably cost you a few quid as well. And again, this is all subjective. This is what works for me. This is what I want on the bike. The bike is complete in my eyes. I'm absolutely in love with the bike. I think it's amazing. And it's a bike I take out, like, it's number one in the stable at the moment. If I just want to go out for a spin, not be bothered about the weather or the surroundings or where I'm going, just a little saunter out, I'm on that. And I keep the Rhino Walk bags on all the time, so I can just throw my stuff in. And it's just, yeah, to me, this is perfection. If you did like it, of course, would you please click the like button and even think about subscribing. And if you really wanted to, if I have saved you money, you could even buy me a cup of coffee. But as always, folks, have a great week, everybody, and ride safe. Dave Perry, WheelieGoodTV. I'm not going to say it. I've been getting a lot of criticism about that thing. I'm not going to say it. Right, I'm going off for a coffee.